Recognize that sound? That's the feedback that leads into the instantly recognizable guitar riff of I Feel Fine. By the way, John has stated many times that the riff from I Feel Fine was based on a tune by Bobby Parker called Watch Your Step. Sound familiar? Back in the day, there was a strong belief that the feedback of I Feel Fine was an accident that happened during the recording, and they just left it in. Now that's a good story, but it's not what happened. Now during the 8 days a week sessions, John had leaned his guitar against an amp but hadn't turned on the volume on his pickup. At the same time, Paul plucked an A note on his bass, and the result was feedback. Now, if you fast forward a week later to the I Feel Fine sessions, there was this huge buzz during setup that came out of the speakers, and the engineers, Jeff Emmerich and Norman Smith, were just aghast. They were thinking something burned out, something was failing. Then they noticed John just kneeling down in front of an amp, playing with his guitar and experimenting with sounds. When he found one that he liked, he was able to record it later in the song. So the inspiration for the feedback was certainly a happy accident, but the actual sound was the result of some hard work and inventiveness by John. And that made I Feel Fine the first song ever to use feedback in a recording. Now, plenty of groups were doing it in their acts. The Who, Jimi Hendrix, but the Beatles were the first to do it in the studio, and John was always very proud of that. And George was always having a laugh by saying, you know, we invented Hendrix. The Quiet Beatle? I don't think so.